And here I am, court date, or thereabouts, on the 5A, sitting at Brownhill Terminus, waiting to head into town and stop off at Central Station and get the train up to Stroke City, Derry, Londonderry, Maiden City, or whatever you want to call it. And it's hit the road and head 'em out.
Next stop, Woodview Drive.
And here we are, platform 3, waiting for the train. And it's 3 minutes to come. And we're now on the famous Columb to Londonderry, Derry, Maiden City, Stroke City, and we're on the coastline here, and this is one of the most famous coastline railway trips in the whole of the UK. Lots of railway enthusiasts have come to check this journey out, and today it's me and the last of the summer wine crew. Is that Mound Head out there, do you reckon? No?
I don't know, it's not.
No?
Beyond there.
Up there on the hill in the mist is Benavay. Very, very pleasant viewpoint over this whole peninsula. Sitting on top of one of the posts back there.
Right.
And this is a wildlife mecca. Wow, look at the oyster catchers. This is the Foyle estuary, and the coal yards we saw there are for what?
Kilkira. Power Station.
Kilkira Power Station. And Bob's getting his coat on, so we must be nearly at our arrival point. Approaching the Maiden City. Two-hour trip up from Belfast. I'm standing in what was formerly Ebrington Barracks, and it's now used for concerts. And there's a big memorial here to World War II, Battle of the Atlantic. Aye, there's the open space that you see concerts at. It was the drill square of the barracks, and the walls are all round it. And we're looking over the foyle, and we're standing on the waterside side, and this is the Peace Bridge. And we're going to cross it in a minute or two. And as you can see, the weather is pretty yuck. But beggars can't be choosers. Just looking across the foyle there's two brave guys running in the rain.
Two buck ages.
Two buck ages. And we're looking across at the famous Guildhall. And there's the start of Derry's walls there, and we're aiming for those today. But first of all, we cross by the Peace Bridge. Opened 2011. Where's the train? Oh, there's the train there. There's the train heading back down to Belfast. Interesting architectural structure. You could lose your hat very handy going over this bridge. And there's the Guildhall in front of us. Takes about 10 minutes getting across the bridge. Widely used every day. The People's Bridge. There we go. And there's the walls. Or part of them. And this is the Guildhall. A lot of tours run from here. And we are looking for a cup of tea. Yeah, over here. There's all the information about the Guildhall, built or officially opened 1890. And we've just come into the historic Guildhall, and there's a terraced floor, and nice stained glass windows and whatnot in the background there. Welcome to the Guildhall. Tourist information, Whittaker Suite, exhibition, toilets and lift. That's the exhibition centre. And we're heading up into the main. I don't know where we are heading up to. This is that's the Mayor's Parlour. That's the exhibition. And there's Queen Victoria. Right, here we go. Who's that? Who's that?
I don't know. It's King George.
It would be. It looks like a George. And we're talking. I nearly tripped there. We're talking about history here, the plantations. Are we going the wrong way around?
No.
No, this is.
So it starts with 2013
Works its way back.
and works its way back. Isn't that good? So you start with 2013 and then you work your way back rather than going the other way forward. And this shows you all the history of of everything.
About the plantation as a negative thing.
You grew up, you develop empathy for different stories.
A lot of history in here, and I haven't got time. We want to walk the walls, so we haven't got an awful lot of time to spend in here. It's talking about the plantations. Derry's charter and its walls. Belgium in 1613, Belgium begun in 1613. The city's walls were completed in 1619 at a cost of 11,700 notes. About 1/5 of the plantation's entire budget. A few million pounds today. My goodness.
Two German bombs stopped in Derry. When the Second World War.
Did you see that up there somewhere? 2 German bombs dropped here. You'll have to come up here yourselves. There's some of the artifacts from the 1600s, whenever Cromwell was knocking about. This is the Packata Hibernia, a history of the late wars of Ireland. And this is the city in 1738. Oh, and here's a lovely tapestry. Isn't that fabulous? Plantation, process, people and perspectives. There's something for you to run up if you have a few spare moments.
I would say that's years in the making.
Isn't it lovely?
Mm-hmm. It's just beautiful.
And we're just about to climb up onto the walls here. This is the famous Ship Quay Gate, or Ship Quay. This was one of the 4 original 17th century gates of the city. There you go. Oh, it's just down the road, Belfast. Somebody told me that the black mark up there was where the water used to come up to. I don't know. He said this was all underwater at one stage. Right. So the water would have come up right to this level here. My goodness gracious. And we're just climbing up Magazine Street. Oh yes. The Tar Museum's over there. And this is us up on the walls. With some of the cannon that were obviously used in the siege of Derry. And these people in front of us took one of my YouTube cards, and they're from the Gold Coast in Australia, and I have relatives living near there. And the walls go on and on. They go for about 1.5 miles or so around the city. So the actual area inside the walls wasn't that big. And if you look at that old black and white photograph and just move on round, there's the original building there. A lot of Georgian type houses here. Old architecture. Hangman's Bastion. Hangman's Bastion is one of the 8 surviving bastions located at strategic points along the walls. It's rectangular in shape and is classified as a demi-bastion. Better not say that word too fast. A bastion is a gun platform. And what's it say? Hangman's Bastion got its unusual name during 1689 siege when a man tried to flee the city to safety and his neck caught in the rope that he was using to lower himself down in the walls at this point. That wasn't very good. There's Magazine Street, how it got its name as well. Grand Parade. 14 sycamores in Grand Parade, one for each of the 13 apprentice boys and one from James Morrison. Their lookout on Ferry Quay Gate. The seed of the sycamore, similar to a bunch of keys, are supposed to symbolise the keys with which the apprentice boys locked the gates. And this is a better view of the Brandywell over on the left hand side and Burgside from Derry's walls. Burgside down into the left in front of me. You can make out some of the wall murals that have been here for decades. This was a very troubled area. And this is called the Royal Bastion. One of 8 surviving bastions. This is a gun position, gun platform. Now there used to be a Doric column right up the centre of this big pillar, but the IRA blew it up in 1973. And these guns are 19th century guns here. What does it say?
Target 13. Must be more than 13.
Must be more than 13.
It's 13. So the gates, but there must have been a garage inside.
Must have been people inside the crowd.
Mitchell, Byrne, Baker and Murray. That must have been, these are talking about some of the apprentice boys. Oh dear. And this is living history before your eyes. And this is one of the old cannons, basically a long pipe. And it says 2 more ancient cannon here. Boom. This is another bastion or gun platform. And this is Bishopsgate. The place was well defended. We watched her. On another gun bastion there, gun platform. And there's more people doing a wee tour. And this is St Columb's Cathedral, and I thought it was a Catholic cathedral, so silly me. Built 1633 by the City of London. One of the first cathedrals to be built after the Protestant Reformation. It was quite plain, but it has been added to significantly. The cathedral is a working church and contains a museum of artefacts with London. So Sure, there are many interesting graveyards of merchants, soldiers, architects and tradespeople. In the corner is the Siege Heroes Mound, reputedly containing the remains of people killed during the siege of Derry. There you are. High church wall behind you is, with its two small watchtowers, at either end, was built to protect the cathedral from cannon fire. Well, there you go. That's why this bit of the wall is much higher. My goodness. My goodness. And there's the wee watchtower at the end. And there's the daily opening time. So we're going to see if we can get in here. Normally Catholic churches are open, but Protestant churches are closed. It's got quite an interesting entrance here, St. Column's. Coat of arms. Quite a prestigious entrance. It's a funny looking crest to be on the front of a cathedral. Strange. So this is St. Column's Cathedral on Derry city walls. An amazing place. Look at this. Patrick Mackay, who departed this life 1725. And this is the first grave I have come to, and it's already 1725. And this is the notice board of the church. And the cathedral completed in 1633, saw action during the 1689 siege. And that's why they built the city walls higher along the wall to withstand cannon fire. And just beside me is one of the cannonballs fired at the city by the Jacobites. And you can read that for yourself. And here's the actual cannonball. And Bob tells me that this hole in the top is where they put the scroll note offering terms of surrender. And the forces inside the wall fired the cannonball back, apparently. There you go. Oh, it's a living history here. The cathedral has been restored at the cost of £4 million. Wow. And we're inside St. Column's Church. Isn't this magnificent? Look at that roof. Boy, so. That's tick. And this, the church has, just as I was saying there, or reading, was refurbished quite recently. And it's open to the public. Now this organ up above here apparently isn't operational.
Built as a church started building the church in 1628 and they finished in 1633.
Right.
It only took 5 years to build this church now, when you think about it.
And
we did a restoration on the church, we cleaned it all. You might see how clean it looks outside.
Yes, it was lovely.
These pillars were black, they're all clean.
Right.
It cost £4 million to clean it.
4 million? I thought it was 2.
No, 4 million.
And this is that? What kind of stone is that? Is
sandstone.
That sandstone?
That's sandstone. The walls are sandstone and that's sandstone.
Right.
The pillars and the walls would be the oldest part of the church.
Right.
The floors 1861 and the pews are 1861.
Right.
We had a wooden floor before that, and we had an old sort of box pew with a gate,
Yes.
old-fashioned type of pew, until we got these in 1861.
Look at the detail that is going in.
They're all brilliant.
All.
brilliant.
How many of these are there?
214.
And there's not a one that is the same.
No, there's not two the same. They're all completely different.
Wow. Works of art. Works of art. Such beauty.
That's our font for baptising the babies on. The flowers are just there for harvest Thanksgiving.
Yes. Yes.
But that's our font for the roof.
This is the siege window here, commemorating the siege of Derry. See, there's those bones again on. See that? That's a bit strange looking.
What are called mortuary symbols. This is our oldest plaque in
Right.
the church. And those are what are called mortuary symbols.
Right.
Very popular back in the 1600s,
Yes.
1700s.
Yes.
They're all signs of death.
Right.
Skull and crossbones.
Yes.
Coffin. Spades for digging graves. Angels with the tongues of fire, which came when people died from
Yes.
the Old Testament.
Right.
Hourglasses lying on their side to
Right.
show that there's no life going through.
Right.
So every one of those is signs of death, and they're
Right.
called mortuary symbols.
Brilliant.
You get into our graveyard,
Yes.
you'll find a grave with a skull and crossbones on it, or an hourglass lying on it.
Right.
In the graveyard, you'll see that on the graves as well.
Right.
But this is a complete
Plaque.
this is a complete assembly of mortuary symbols, and we had a man on here in the church who does a survey on these, and is interested in them, does a history of them, and he said this is only the second place that he's found a full set.
Full set.
You can find a skull and a crossbones
Yes.
and maybe the hourglasses, but not a full set. The only other places was a church in the Orkney Islands.
Wow.
Was the only other church that he's found a complete assemble of them.
Boy, so. Here, thanks very much. And your first name is?
Billy.
Billy. Thanks very much, Billy. And this whole plaque dates from what,
Can
1670?
you see it up there?
So I think it's 1675.
No, it must be. It's 1633, is it?
1633.
That's our oldest. We have one up at the very top under at the
Right.
top, 1667, and that's the second oldest. So
Right.
This is the
This is
oldest.
1633. Just picked this amazing fact up from Billy inside there that John Newton, the slave ship owner, who wrote later on Amazing Grace, he was shipwrecked. His ship was called the Greyhound, and he was shipped off the coast of Donegal, and he came to St. Column's. Where are we? St. Column's Cathedral. St. Colum's Cathedral here, and while there, he renounced his slavery, and he wouldn't practice slavery anymore. And it was at this church that he had this conversion experience in the late 1700s. Mrs. Cecil Frances Alexander, and she was the bishop's wife of this church, and she wrote All Things Bright and Beautiful. And what else is your?
Royal David City.
Once in Royal David City,
Green Hill far
and there is a Green Hill far away,
The golden gates are lifted up.
and the golden gates are lifted up. So strong historical connections and Christian connections with this church.